What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts as usual. As you guys know, I think we're witnessing the biggest money grab in history, meaning a lot of money is going to get pulled out of the markets. I'm going to show you a lot of charts that are showing the same thing here, so definitely stick around for the whole video. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up. Also, before looking at what this chart is, let me know what chart you think this is in the comments below. We're going to go over it in a second. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like daily updates. I haven't made a video in the last couple days. I've been kind of busy. Meanwhile, Bitcoin has done nothing. So let's get into it. Let's see what we're looking for. And guys, remember, this stuff doesn't happen in a day. It takes time to play out. Let's go over the charts. So this looks like a giant crap coin, right? It is the Dow Jones on the monthly. Now, some things I want to talk about here. This thing looks like it's going to correct in a big way. Be careful, guys. I've stressed this so many times. There is things going on that you're not going to hear about in the news. You're not going to understand what's going on. You and me both. But the charts have a way of warning us to what's to come. So let's take a look. Let's go back down into, let's go into the 3-day. Let's throw this on there real quick. Actually 2-day. Just something I want to show you guys, some things that happen a lot during markets is where the same things repeat. As you can see, we had a little UAW strike back here in 2007, right before the '08 crash. Same thing, we're in a big strike now. This is actually a much bigger strike, which I think it'll be a much bigger drop. If it was the drop the same as it did over here, about 55%, that would put the Dow down to about 16,000 points. So just something to be aware of. I'm not telling you it's happening for sure. This isn't financial advice. These are my opinions of the market and my view. I've not changed that in a very long time. I don't tell you everything's bullish one day and then bearish the next, and just show you both scenarios and say it could go either way. We are looking at what's happening in the markets as a whole. We are going to also take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and BNB at the end. So make sure you stick around, guys. These are old charts I've been showing for a long time, and I'm going to show you how they're playing out and what our next targets are. All right, so anyways, there's the Dow, right? Taking a look at the bubble pop theory. This is all going to come together, guys. Watch the whole video. So here's the Amazon chart from the .com bubble, right? As you can see, look at the VRVP right here in this red line, right? This is an indicator. This shows you where all the major trading was going on before the bubble started up, right? And then it popped. We had two highs, just like in Bitcoin right here, right? You can see the VRVP, same place. We came down below. I do believe Bitcoin is gonna, I've been saying it for 2 years. I think Bitcoin is going to go in between 35 and 9,700 when this is all said and done. There's always a 100% rally in these bubble pops to get everyone bullish, to get more exit liquidity so they can get out of the markets by taking your money. Guys, we don't know exactly where the bottom is going to be, right? I'd say somewhere under 10,000, start maybe dollar cost averaging then, if you're a dollar cost average person. But the people that were dollar cost averaging all up here, they don't like to admit it, but they're underwater. I don't care what they say. They could say they bought at 15.5 and at 100%. If you look at what's happened right here, right? We had this huge drop. We did not even hit 50% for a retracement, guys. It's not looking good. I will show you a bullish case, right? We'll take a look at the Wyckoff method. I talked about it in March of 21, right before the big dump, right? It's forming the same pattern. I showed that chart on the thumbnail. We're going to look at that chart also to show you another way to look at it. But either way, the outcome is bearish, guys. In my opinion, of course. But anyways, you see what happens. The bubbles always come back to where they began. Here's another one, Nintendo Pop. One more thing on the Amazon. You can see what happened afterwards. It took 10 years to break this high. I know Bitcoin, everybody's talking about the 4-year cycle. Guys, here were the rules of the 4-year cycle. From the beginning, right? On the 4-year cycle, Bitcoin every 4 years hits a new all-time high. The other rule was Bitcoin never went lower than its last cycle high. We broke 20K this cycle, guys. The 4-year cycle is over, in my opinion. That doesn't mean Bitcoin's over and it's going to die. It means this is going to take a lot longer before we see a new all-time high, if I'm correct here. So here's the Nintendo bubble pop. Same thing, VRVP right here. You look at the high volume trading node, same place. Bubble started here, right? Big hyped rally, and it came down. Bitcoin should do the same thing. It is a pattern, right? Here was the high for the Amazon. Here's the high for Bitcoin, 100% rally. We talked about that. I told you back when we called the top above 60,000 that we would see a big drop, then a 100% rally to get everyone bullish again. And take a look around, right? Everybody's bullish again, calling for new all-time highs for the 4-year cycle, and then the true bottom will follow, coming down into this range, 35 to 9,700. Still looking for that, guys. I have not changed it. When Bitcoin gets pumps, I don't get all like, oh my God, it's going to 100,000 or whatever. You know, these guys that just wishy-washy, they flip-flop like a dying fish, right? They're just all over the place, and they're spreading hopium. They're trying to get you to buy because that's what markets do, right? That's how these bubble pop patterns work. Look at Sony, same thing. Returned back to where it had a few false bottoms and a couple bear market rallies right here, but nevertheless, it returned to where it began. I do believe we are going to see Bitcoin back at these levels. Here's the DXY. Everybody's zooming in on this little thing saying, there it goes, DXY is dying, just like they do all the time. Guys, I've been bullish on the dollar for years. I continue to be bullish on the dollar. Let's take a look at smaller time frames, what we're looking at here. Let me show you some stuff. So if you look at this yellow dotted trend line, right, which we broke here, came back, retested. If we take the measured move of that, that's where I get my 109 target, right? Then we had this 106. We got above, had a fake out, came back below, but I said watch for a rejection here at 106. The lowest I think we would go here is this 105 to retest the 0.382 fib before going up. Next time we break this line and get support, guys, 109 is my next target after that. And then you're looking at the white falling wedge here. The measured move of that is 115. We have much higher targets. Let's go into the 3-day and kind of zoom out and show you guys some stuff. So looking at the big picture of the DXY, this thing is bullish. This is a W pattern, right? I think we can get back up to these levels, way up to the 150 to 180 range for the dollar. So just something to show you guys. As you can see, every time we make a wedge, we make a higher high, right? We continue on up. We are going to continue up, in my opinion. Let's look at some, let me see one more thing here. Yeah, looking at this as a giant wedge pattern on the weekly with a break here. Again, this doesn't mean it happens in a day, but that gets us that target all the way up to 178. Could that take many years? Definitely possible. Does that mean we're going here for sure? No, but the 122 I think is most likely a very good target to look for in the next year or so, maybe less. NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, we broke through our rising channel, came back up, fake out. Nevertheless, we're going to take a look at the other charts. It's looking bearish, guys. If you look here, this could be exaggerated divergence where the RSI is making equal highs. Look at it here, right? Equal highs in the RSI, but we're making lower highs. That's exaggerated divergence. Look it up. When I talk about these things, just Google it and it'll make sense to you. But you're making a lower high here. You're making equal highs on the RSI. More downside to come. As you guys know, my next target is around 12.4. That doesn't mean my next target for today, my next target for tomorrow. I'm showing you where it's heading in the long term. Taking a look at the DXY. As you guys know, we broke this wedge here. If we were to continue back up and retest this wedge, could get back up as high as that 35. Although I don't see it happening, it is a possibility, but nevertheless, our next target here is around that 27.7. We also have much lower targets. S&P getting rejected at the 55 EMA on the daily. Same thing, we had the little fake out below the rising channel, although I do think we are going to see our next target 37.35 and then 32.91, and we have much lower targets too. We'll talk about that if it comes. But guys, I think when this starts, I think it's going to be pretty fast and pretty hard. And one of the things I want to talk about in Bitcoin, people always give these targets like it'll never go lower than this. You know, remember when it was never lower than 45, and then it was never lower than 30, then never lower than 20, and it always gets broken. What that does, that gets people to hold that asset while the big boys just keep dumping on them, and they think, and then once it gets down below that level where they thought it would never break, they're stuck just holding and hoping. Pretty much where we've been since we broke the 50,000 level, right? And then remember, we got back up to 48. Everyone got super bullish. It's going back up to new all-time highs, and it got crushed. We're going to take a look at, some people like to call it a fractal. I like to call it just a market pattern because markets are based on human emotion. We're going to take a look at that chart that I showed you in the thumbnail here in a minute. But another one I want to talk about is oil. You listen to some of these guys on YouTube, right? Some of them are super bearish on the markets, but they're bullish on oil. Or they're bearish on the DXY and they're bullish on, they're just all confused. Well, the oil, we've had this oil chart since way back when, right? When we were back up at its high. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get in there. Right here. So this is another one. I had told you watch for a break this, then a retest to the 95. We got it. We had a target of 62, nailed it. And I said, next time we break this bottom trend line, I have a target as low as 26.95, right? I know that sounds crazy, but I believe we at least break this again, come back and test this 62. If that holds, we may get a bounce and a retest. But I do think it is a very good possibility we will see down to these lows again. This chart is like 2.5 years old. We've been waiting for all this for a long time. It's playing out. It takes time, guys. And a lot of people are like, you said 35 to 97K, you know, blah, blah, blah. The timing is hard in the market. I do believe it could still happen in October, but if it takes a little longer, does it matter? Absolutely not, because there is huge opportunity of a lifetime down at those levels if we do get there. Let's take a look at the 10-year yield. So here's my target I've had for over a year. That's 7 points, right? I do think that it is very possible we could get a little bit higher than that. Another thing I've stated for 2 years is that until the interest rates on the U.S. 30-year mortgages are over 10%, the bottom is not in. I think we'll see well over 10% before this bottom's in. Let's take some measured moves here. We're going to go on the 2-day just so I can fit this all in here. All right, so looking at the solid white trend lines, right, we have a target up here of the break of this wedge. We came back down and retested it. It gets us to that 7%. We can put a trend line here and look at this as a broadening wedge, right? Worst case scenario, it comes down, retests these levels. But let's take a measured move. Oh, I didn't mean that. Let's take a measured move of this right here. That whole wedge. That gets us up to that. I don't know how I got this target. I don't remember what I did here. Totally not sure. I'd have to go over that. Sorry, I went over this real quick this morning. Nevertheless, we can take that target out. Sorry about that, guys, but 7%. I'm definitely looking for somewhere around this 7% range. And if you look at the EMAs, they're holding as support. I think this thing's about to go parabolic. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out our sponsor, Prime XBT. Here's a quick little video. Definitely check them out. I've talked about A-Book and B-Book exchanges. They are an A-Book exchange. B-Books, such as Bybit and all them guys, you got to be very careful because you're using their own crypto to trade against you. Prime XBT does not do that. So definitely check them out if you haven't already. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margin. SAVVY25 to get your 25% off your fees. After this, we'll get into Bitcoin, the smaller time frames, some very important charts. Ethereum, Litecoin, and BNB and XRP. Be right back.
Begin your path to financial freedom. Gain up to a $7,000 bonus on us. Register and use promo code. Deposit and enjoy a 7% bonus. Available now. Link in the description.
All right, and here's their trading platform. They do have another section, the crypto futures section. I am working on making a tutorial on that, on how to use that part. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'll be releasing that in the next few days to kind of give you a input on how it works, right? So, but you can still also trade the global markets in here. You can trade crypto, forex, gold, S&P, Dow Jones, silver, all kinds of stuff, all from this. So check them out if you haven't. Check out my promo codes. Links are down below. I'll also leave the older tutorial up top for now. Let's get into this. Like I said, some people like to call it a fat fractal. I like to call it a pattern. Charts are based on human emotion, right? So you can see this. We got this higher high here, right? We had like an ABC overextended. Came back down for a 5-wave structure to the downside, right? Let's take a look at right here. Remember, 48,000 people were super bullish when we were around there. I've posted plenty of videos saying we were heading down. Everyone called me crazy, just like you'll probably see in the comments again, because human emotion doesn't change, right? That people, if you talk about an asset going down when people don't understand trading and don't know how to make money in markets other than buy and hope it goes up, they get mad when you say it's going to go down. Sorry about their luck. I'm just showing you what the charts are telling us. But anyways, as you can see right here, you can see all this hidden bearish divergence here, higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, big, huge drop, right? Same pattern. Once we broke this, right, we didn't quite get back up to test it. Now, this will get invalidated if you come up and break this high, right? But as of right now, it is still valid. Same thing. We had our higher high right here, and then we get our drop down, came back right back towards that trend line, right at 48. This is just like the 48K, right? Exact same pattern, guys. We are about to come down and come down hard. I don't know how else to put it. I'm not trying to be rude to people when they make rude comments in the comment section below, but if you're one of them people, you need to just clear your mind of crap, pay attention to what I'm trying to explain to you, and maybe, just maybe, something will click and you'll get it. It's not saying that Bitcoin's dead. I'm saying there is way bigger opportunity, and you may be waiting a super long time for a new all-time high. But if you can get in at the low, you can ride that up for decades. This could be this next low could be our final low for Bitcoin. You might never see it lower than that again. But I do think we're going to see another lower low, guys. But again, the problem is like over here, right? So these people that bought up here, they waited 10 years to get their money back at these levels, right? But the people that were patient people make money, guys. People that were patient and got in here, you don't have to catch the exact bottom. But if you understand that this pattern is showing we should break this low, there's way better buying opportunities down here. And while you're making money, everybody else is still waiting over here to break even. Be careful. All right, let's take a look at. So this is the video.
Up, and welcome to Bitcoin
let's
Update.
not.
Today we're going to take a look at the possible
Wickoff distribution video I made back in March, right? We were way back here, and I called the 64 top way before it happened, right? Like a month prior, and that was using this Wickoff theory right here, Wickoff method of the distribution. And I think we're making another mini distribution or a redistribution phase right now, right? This played out perfectly. Now let's take a look at this here. This is the same thing. So this is the bullish case, guys. If we were to be able to kick up here and make just a slightly higher high, somewhere between 30 and 33,000, actually 32 and 33,000, it would make the same pattern. Now let me show you. Oh, I don't have it up right now. But anyway, same thing. There's another distribution pattern it could be where it doesn't quite make another high. I made a video last week if you want to go check that out. It says Wickoff or distribution on the thumbnail, something of that sort. Smaller time frames. So if you guys have been watching, over a week ago, we put this possible count in as a 1, 2, then looking for a 3, down to possibly 17.3 range. And again, that doesn't happen in a day, guys. There's going to be tons of little movement in here, right? You can also count waves within waves. So if this is a third wave we're making, this may be 1, 2, make it a 3, then a 4, and a 5 to here, and that being just another wave 1, and then we continue back up to 27, 5, 28 again, and making a big wave 1, 2, and then our third wave down here, fourth. Look into Elliott Wave. I'm going to be starting to go over this stuff a little bit more. I'm going to go back to some member videos because it takes too much time and people get bored with it if that's not what they're looking for. But if you want to join the members, I'll be doing member videos again and going over this stuff in much more detail. So if you're interested in that, make sure you become a member. But nevertheless, regardless, this definitely could be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 coming here, getting us down to those lows, right? There's still a possibility we do see them lows in October. If not, I still believe they're coming, right? And again, that call was from 2 years ago. If I'm off by a couple months, oh well. I wasn't telling you to buy this whole time and lose money like everybody else. B&B. We've had this chart forever. Way back when, November, when FTT collapsed, I started talking about, or FTX collapsed, I started talking about the FTT chart and Binance looking alike. Warning people, way over here, above the 350, I said if we broke the 350, be very cautious. I think it was going to make the same pattern. We're doing that, guys. 202, we had this target forever. It's been holding as support. As soon as it loses this support, your next support is 153. And that's just a measured move, looking at this as a bear flag, right? And then we have another measured move of this right here being just a wedge, come down, gets us at 69. If 69 breaks, guys, it's going to be super, super bad. Super bad. Like Binance is done bad if we break this 69. If it can hold 69, maybe Binance survives. I think there is a good possibility that 69 breaks. But I do believe we are going to head down to these levels, guys, so be careful. XRP, I told you guys all about this. I know XRP lovers hate it, but guys, there are people still stuck up here from FOMO. There are people stuck up here from FOMO. Now there are people stuck up here for FOMO. This is the same pattern a dying penny stock makes. I've been talking about this for years also. You see this white trend line, the weekly can never open or close a weekly above this white trend line. And then you have the hype line, the yellow one here. We didn't even reach it that time. Each one of these hype, I remember back here they were talking about Google's adopting XRP and they're going to use it for all kinds of stuff. This huge hype smashed them. Then this hype, I don't even remember what the hell this hype was. And then there's more hype. Each hype gets less and less power, guys. This thing is dead, in my opinion. Not saying you can't trade it and make money. It's going to bounce. There's going to be movement. But this thing is going to shrivel to nothing, in my opinion. Ethereum. And I've been talking about the bubble pop, right? That's going to wash out all the crap coins, garbage exchanges, bad players in the crypto space, and then let crypto thrive after that, right? But this stuff's got to be washed out. Ethereum. So what? This chart, super old, guys. We have targets as low as 114. Doesn't mean it has to go to 114, but I do believe we are most likely going to see these targets down here. We broke this. I told you watch for 1475. Still looking for that. May get a bounce here. If we don't, if we break through this, your next target, well, you can look at the high volume node at 1200, but I don't think that'll hold. Looking for 926. If 926 breaks, 597, and then 280. I'll go into more detail how we got these, or if you've been watching for months or years, you've seen exactly how I got these targets, and this stuff's playing out beautifully. Let's Litecoin. Litecoin's broken our last support there again, guys. I mean, you could put another trend line from this wick to this and say it's got to break 62. Either way, your next big support is going to be around 53, 55, somewhere in this range with a high volume node. May come back up, retest here, but either way, more downside coming. You guys know my target has been 15 to 23 bucks. Much lower if the markets get as bad as I think they could. But we've had these targets for about 2 years. Let's take a look at just another wave count, right? In the big time frame. We call this 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot pass 1, which is right here about that 30. What is it? 32.90 or 32.921. If this breaks, that this is invalid. Does that mean we don't see no lower lows? No. That just means this count is invalid. There's other counts. Looking at it as a B, C, D, E, still have E down here between 35 and 9,700, guys. I am still looking for these levels. Could I be wrong? Yes. Am I telling you what to do? No. I'm telling you what I'm doing. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe. You can hit the Crypto Savvy logo right here. Check out these videos above. And again, join if you want to become a member. I think it's like $3 or $4 or whatever to join the YouTube members. There's also a free Discord down below. I try to get in there when I can. But check out the links below. Appreciate you guys for all the support on the channel. And those people that get irritated and mad, simmer down. Listen, pay attention, actually open your mind to the info. Don't push it out saying, I'm going to get rich by holding because George said so. Be careful, guys. George said a lot of things. When when Bitcoin crashed to 28,000, he made a video and was like, Bitcoin holders got effed today. I'll post that on my Twitter later so you can see it. And that was at 28,000, right? 2 years ago. We're still here. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.